those are some reasons why people would fake their own deaths, right? Like,
yes,
because
I love it. I mean, I don't love it, but I love.
Takes down notes and it was like, I love these. This is great. Yeah, right. And then he allegedly recited a passage from Oedipus and Colonus.
Do you think that's Oedipus?
Maybe, probably. Yeah.
What do you have the record of the earliest known fake death?
Well, so this is hard because you can't really prove a fake death, right? Like,
that's a good point. This is why I would be terrible at it.
Claimed to have died, and then his sons had a funeral during which Sophocles dramatically emerged from a coffin to prove he was still alive and in control of his facilities.
What?
And she was like, I'm half vampire, a quarter cat, and a quarter dragon. And I was like...
She sounds like a hoot and a half.
And she's dead fucking serious, right? And I'm like...
I thought you said she was dead for a second. I was like...
Oh no, she's dead serious.
Well, she couldn't die. She's a vampire. So.
Well, she's a vampire. Well, she's already dead then. She's the undead. And she was just like, no, my people, like the vampire cat dragon people, can like change the DNA in a body so it would be the same as her DNA.
Huh. That story about you driving a plane sounds 100% made up.
Really?
I mean, first of all, Susanville sounds made up. Also, a female pilot. Just kidding.
And then he secretly moved back in with his wife a year after.
Wait, I'm confused. How could he do that
death.
Secretly when he was literally living on the property?
So he must have like then moved back into the main house a year later.
How do you do that secretly? Like in the middle of the night, he just tiptoes like a cat burglar?
Yeah, like a cat dragon vampire. Vampire dragon. Yes, but she's faking being surprised because he's faking amnesia because he faked his death. So now it's a triple fake.
Also, there's a trend here that it's all presumably heterosexual men.
Yeah, so far. The gays don't fake it.
No, they don't.
Okay, everybody, welcome to another episode. It has taken Ben and I 7.5 minutes to stop being distracted and get into the episode. So welcome to We're Experts Now. Here for another week, I'm Jackie.
And I'm Ben.
It took you a second.
What do you mean it took me a second?
It took you a second to respond. You were like, am I introducing myself? And I didn't give you any intro or context. And I was like, just finish my sentence for me.
I got there. It just took me a second. Okay.
You are Ben. We're here together. Look at us.
We are here together. Look at us. It's a beautiful Tuesday night. It's dark out.
Welcome to your second episode, Ben. How's it feel?
Thanks. It feels like I know what I'm doing, kind of.
You did know so much more today than we did last time, and we got through the tech stuff in minutes. Mm-hmm.
It was so quick.
Last time it was also minutes, but it was more minutes than it was today.
Yes. That's how improvement works.
The problem is it's going to be when I have tech issues and I have no one to ask. Because I'm helping you right now, but if I need help, who's going to help me?
I can do my best. I would probably just tell you, Google it, or restart your computer.
Those are some of the best advice that you could ever give, actually.
Yeah, that's what I tell people at work too. Just restart your computer.
Are you IT?
No, but people come to me, I feel like, for everything. And I'm like, I don't know.
I used to come to you for everything, yeah, when we worked together. I was like,
because I felt like I had to know everything.
Mm-hmm. The thing is you also came to me for everything too. So that was a mutual way. You were like, what the fuck are they talking about, Jackie? And I was like, I think they're drinking.
They probably were drinking, actually.
Well, no, one of them didn't really drink, but some of the other people were certainly drinking. I was also drinking heavily at that point too. So
Oh, I'm definitely drinking more now.
No, I was like, so you met me right when I went through my breakup, and then I had like my 3 year like alcohol craze parties time. And now I'm back to normal me who doesn't really drink. So
Oh, got it. Okay.
it's boring, but my life is like less chaotic, which is nice sometimes. I do miss chaos.
What's that like?
Um it's sometimes kind of boring. Yeah, like sometimes like I have all this free time. That's why I have a podcast. That's why I'm starting another business. That's why I work all the much I do. Like, I need a
Mm.
boyfriend, so,
What's the other business? I get. Are
It's
we
like,
cross marketing? We shouldn't do that.
oh no, we're totally gonna cross market when we get there.
Oh, great.
We'll
Okay.
have we'll have Ashley on the podcast at that point.
Oh,
It's
nice.
like it's kind of, I'll tell you offline. I don't want
Okay,
everyone to
that's
know
cool.
about this, but it's
Sure,
gotta
not yet.
it's more in the vein of health, and like kind
Oh,
of the
nice.
healing journey and that kind of stuff. So it'll be a good time. So we're doing a subject that I wanted to do for a really long time, but could never figure out like how to have an expert on this. Um, because we're talking about people faking their deaths.
Love it.
And like how to fake your own death. Well, maybe not like a how
Hmm.
to, but like I've done some notes. And when I say I've done, I mean I curated through AI some suggestions and thoughts, but it was all responses to my questions. So
So you
that's
had a
me.
list of questions that you asked ChatGPT,
I did not save the
and
questions though, so I don't know what that is. Maybe I have it over here.
what do you mean you don't know
I
what that
do.
is?
Well, I was like, I don't remember what the questions were because
Mm,
I only cut and paste the answers, but I still have it because I'm awesome.
sweet. You are so
Nope,
awesome.
nope, I already. Nope,
Oh, never mind. We spoke too soon.
wait, yeah. Well, it didn't like my question when I said, "How do you fake your own death?" It was like, "I cannot
Mm,
answer that," and I was like,
sure.
"Okay, there. Okay, I did find it. Okay, so first off, Ben,
Okay.
what do you know about faking your own death? What is your knowledge on this subject?"
Honestly, it's very little. Um, because I haven't really thought about it much. I don't watch a lot of crime documentaries, true crime
This girl
documentaries.
does. This
I
girl
know, so
does.
this is like right up your alley.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I know very little, but I'm interested to know how to do it in case I ever really actually need to do it.
Well, I don't think I'm allowed to tell people how to fake their death. I think there's probably something really illegal in there, but we're just talking about,
Hmm.
okay, first off, let's talk about reasons why people do it. And this actually I did not get from AI. But I
Oh, but
got like,
I'm gonna write this shit down.
well, insurance money. I feel like that's a
Oh,
big one,
okay.
right? You're faking your
Oh,
death so that you or your
mm-hmm,
family or whoever can get the insurance money and then cash it out.
mm-hmm,
You could fake your own death because like you're in trouble with the law, right?
mm-hmm.
Like, and you don't want to go to jail or whatever you're doing. Like, I think like Harvey Weinstein, remember they were all like, I think he faked his death and like got out of the prison. There was all those stuff.
Okay.
Um, you could do it
Mm-hmm.
because you don't like the person that you're with. Oh, you could do what was that, Double Jeopardy? Do you remember that movie from the 90s where like
I did. What's her name? Winona Judd? Is that her face? Yeah.
and like
I never saw it.
I forget the whole plot of it, but like she then you were like you're trying to get away from your like partner or something, or you're
Hmm.
trying to pin, oh no, I'm thinking of Gone Girl, you're trying to pin your
I didn't
death
see that
on
either.
somebody else.
Right.
I read the book, but like
Oh,
she fakes her own death and then like basically sets it up so it looks like she was murdered in her house by her husband. So she's
okay.
like trying to, so don't, spoiler alert, sorry. It's an old
You should.
movie and book.
Yeah, but I haven't seen it or read it.
You're not going to.
You know, when you're right, you're right.
Okay,
I
so
can't read, Jackie.
you could definitely read. You used to get my bullshit emails. Uh, so I like think that's like another reason you're like trying to like pin your death on somebody else and get somebody else in trouble.
Wait, can I say something? It's
No,
so I think okay.
this is a
Can I?
one-way podcast.
So I feel like I just had a dream actually about faking not my death, but someone else faking their own death. And it was like the owner of like FAO Schwartz, like the toy company. And I think he like lived above the store, like in a penthouse. And it was like this big news story that he died. And then I feel like I was talking to my stepdad in this dream, and he's like, "Don't you think it's weird that he happens to live above a toy store?" And then it turned out that he faked his own death, and it was just like a mannequin from the toy store. This is like the dream that I
This
had.
is your dream?
This is my dream, and I don't know
Ben,
why I had it.
You really need to see a psychiatrist. Like, why are you dreaming about the CEO or whatever of a toy company? Like, what does that say about you?
I really want a toy.
I thought you were going to say something about, like, it's creepy because, you know, he probably molests children. And you were like, yes, it was a mannequin. And I was like, our brains go to different places.
But it was also, it wasn't resolved. Like, I don't know why he faked his own death.
Because it's your dream, Ben.
So am I the owner of FAO Shorts?
No,
I guess
but do
not.
all your you like at the end of the night every night you like at the end of your dream and you get like the final and then everyone lived happily ever after.
No, I usually wake up in a panic.
Yeah, this checks out.
Yeah. But it was just such a random dream. Sorry.
So those are some reasons why people would fake their own deaths, right? Like,
yes,
because
I love it. I mean, I don't love it, but I love.
Takes down notes. And it was like, I love these. This is great.
This is great. I'm gonna highlight it in case there's a quiz later.
So, people have been faking their own deaths for a long time, right? Like, this goes back in history. We think about it like everyone thinks Elvis faked his own death. This is not a new thing, but I do think it's much harder in the modern era. Like, right? Like, if you were trying to fake your own death in New York, you're going to be caught on like 50 cameras. 50 million cameras, actually.
What do you have the record of the earliest known fake death?
Well, so this is hard because you can't really prove a fake death, right? Like,
that's a good point. This is why I would be terrible at it.
What is this fake death in history? I feel like I did ask this.
You asked ChatGPT this? Like, why didn't you just Google it?
Well, because ChatGPT is going to sum it up for me in a nice little story.
Oh, cool. Oh, you don't want to do the
same
research.
Thing. Sophocles. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
here we go. Okay. It's hard to pinpoint the oldest one because it's challenging, obviously. Although it's saying they date back to ancient times and that involves the Greek playwright Sophocles. According to historical accounts, he was summoned to appear and face some accusations from his fucking sons, like I said, to get away from things, and that he was mentally unfit to manage his affairs.
So it's really all three things you said.
Yeah, right? And then he allegedly recited a passage from Oedipus and Colonus.
Do you think that's Oedipus?
Maybe. Probably. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, it's definitely. Why does Oedipus have an O in front of it?
I don't know, Jacqueline.
Jacqueline. So
Jacqueline.
Okay. So Oedipus and Colonus. And basically after that, he claimed to have died. And
so he ended up actually dying.
Wait, okay. So he claimed to have died, and then his sons had a funeral during which Sophocles dramatically emerged from a coffin to prove he was still alive and in control of his facilities.
What?
This guy is like, yo. I know that you think that I am not in control of my mental facilities, so I'm going to fake my own death, okay? And then I'm going to pop out of the coffin and fuck with y'all because that'll show you that I am mentally sound. This is the most reasonable man in history.
Did they have coffins back then?
Probably not, but that's how I'm envisioning it.
Oh, it doesn't actually use the word coffin.
No, that was me embellishing.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Embellishing. It does say that parts of the story also might have embellished over the time, but
okay.
that's what it's getting in. Okay.
Cool.
That's what it's.
Awesome.
That's what the story is.
Sweet.
Okay. So, some of the most notorious other cases was the infamous disappearance of Lord Lunken.
Lord Lunken.
Disappearance of Lord Lunken to the mysterious vanishing of John Stonehouse, a British politician who staged his own drowning. Ooh, that would be like, how do you state yeah, that's the thing. Like, because like you have to okay, this is wild. I can't believe we just triggered this memory. One, you have to be able to either produce a body, and back in the day before DNA, you could have done that with anything, right? Like you could have gotten a guy that a dead body that looked like you, burn it, and or whatever, right? Like I think it was much easier. Now with DNA, it's probably much harder. But even if you have a body like say for drowning, I guess you could always wreck your ship and they find the ship wreck and they just assume that you drown. That's probably the easiest way to do it. Things where there's no body. Okay, so the memory that triggered for me was when I was in.
Were you Lord Lunken?
I was definitely Lord Lunken. When I was in high school, I got in trouble and I got sent to a therapeutic day school for a while. And there was this girl, I think her real name was Gina, but she went by the name Dita, D-I-T-A. And she was a little weird. She was definitely goth. No, nothing too weird there. But then one day she was like, I have to tell you a secret. And she was staying at my house this night. And she was like, I'm half vampire, a quarter cat, and a quarter dragon. And I was like,
she sounds like a hoot and a half.
And she's dead fucking serious, right? And I'm like,
I thought you said she was dead for a second. I was like, oh
no, she's dead serious.
Well, she couldn't die. She's a vampire. So.
Well, she's a vampire. Well, she's already dead then. She's the undead.
Well, whatever.
Also, I was like, but you don't have any of the features of a dragon. And then she was like, when I move to my true home, then I grow all the features of the dragon and the cat and all that. And her true home was Chico. So she just had to get to Chico and she would grow her dragon wings.
Oh, well, she'd be like, can I go home with you?
No, I was scared of her sleeping in my house that night. I was like, I do not want to be near you, crazy pants, because then she said she was going to run away to Chico. And I was like, she had already run away to Chico before. And I was like, well, your parents know that's where you went last time. Like, aren't they going to go right there and find you? And she was like, no, I'm going to fake my own death. And I was like, okay. And she was like, there's going to be a car accident and they're going to find my body in it. And I was like, well, but can't they DNA test this? Because this is I don't know, 2004. This is when CSI is super big and everyone's talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
And she was just like, no, my people, the vampire cat dragon people, can change the DNA in a body so it would be the same as her DNA.
Huh. And
I remember just being absolutely terrified of this girl sleeping next to me because I was like, am I going to be the body?
Wait, where was this in the Bay Area?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chica's far from there.
Which was her true home.
But she couldn't fly.
No, because she didn't get her dragon wings and stuff until she moved to Chico. Which is weird because she had already been in Chico. I was like, why didn't you grow your wings? Yeah. I was like, why didn't you grow your wings there?
Can she only have the wings in Chico? Or would she go there to permanently transform?
I thought it was the latter, but you might have a point with the former. I never thought of it that way, that they're it's an on-off switch when you get in the region of Chico. your wings just grow, and then.
I mean, it makes sense. Oh, there's a fireplace. I mean, a fireplace, a
For
fire
a second,
thing
I
going.
just thought you were whining, and I was like,
I'm jealous. Well, maybe it's like a type of thing where like vampires can only be around at night, and maybe she can only be a vampire cat dragon in Chico.
Yeah, I mean, looking back on it, she was either a pathological liar or severely mentally ill.
Oh my god. If you did not say liar in that sentence, I would have smacked you.
No, she could have.
I wish you would have been like, she may have been lying though.
It's possible.
I don't know.
I'm sure. I haven't seen her since then, so she could have made it to Chico, and she could have her goddamn dragon wings.
Maybe she's in that door behind you.
That one is a closet. I talked about this on a previous episode, but that one is the murder closet.
Love it.
It just goes into the attic. It's a giant creepy. That would be a great place to hide if I was faking my death.
It's too obvious. What would you do? What would you do?
House.
Yeah, someone else is going to move in. You rent. Oh, that's not going to be a giveaway.
I don't know why I'm smoking cigarettes after years of quitting. I'm like, I'm going to pick this up now.
You're stress smoking.
Okay.
All right. So far, I have the 3 possible reasons. It dates back to Sophocles.
Yeah.
The Lord Lunken and Stonehouse, British.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on with them. I think I have more notes somewhere.
Oh, I thought we were continuing that path.
Okay, I do have more notes. Okay.
Here's
some more examples of individuals who have faked their death. Okay.
All right.
John Darwin. What was the other Darwin's name? Survival of the fittest?
Yes, Charles Darwin.
Okay, I was like, it's not John, is it? I was like, it's
no,
a basic
like,
white dude name. I was like, I didn't know he faked his own death. He wasn't surviving as the fittest.
I used to have an English teacher that referred to Charles Dickens as Chucky D, and I almost used the same thing for Charles Darwin. I was going to call him Chucky D, but
Chucky D. I love that. I love that they were trying to make it cool.
I know. I love
so John Darwin was a British teacher and a prison officer.
He was a British t-shirt?
Teacher.
Oh, teacher. That would be weird if he was a t-shirt. Right.
It would be weird if he was a t-shirt. But it is weird that he is a teacher and a prison officer. Because I feel like he's just keeping people in line. Like, he's just like, knock it off. I hope he went from school children to prison and not from prison to school children.
He was a teacher and a prison guard.
He faked his death in 2002.
Well, I want to know why, because teachers are underpaid and probably so are prison guards.
I bet. Okay, this was 2002. He did it by doing what I said you should do, which is paddling out to sea. He did it in a canoe. I would probably pick a bigger boat and then canoe back, maybe.
How would you get a bigger boat? Like, how would you do that by yourself?
I could drive a speedboat.
Can you?
I've driven a speedboat, yeah.
All right, we don't need to brag. This isn't a bragging podcast.
I've driven a plane, so...
Well, I would never get in a plane with you.
I did not take off and I did not land. All I did was, like, drive when we're, like, in
was
the
it a simulator?
Sky. No, my old roommate, she was a pilot, and her dad managed the airport up in Susanville. And so we went up to Susanville one time, and she, like, took us out, and then basically it's like in a trainer plane, right? It's like a trainer car where like the person next to you. I love the strobe.
Sorry. There's a fire somewhere down the road. I don't know.
But
it could be a cat in a tree. It could be a cat dragon in a tree.
It's definitely a vampire cat dragon, which you would think if it's part dragon or vampire, it would know how to get down from a tree, but whatever.
I bet you those fangs would be out of control. That story about you driving a plane sounds 100% made up.
Really?
I mean,
I
first of
have
all,
pictures.
Susanville sounds made up. Also, a female pilot. Just kidding.
Okay, what's sad is I had a female pilot the other day and I 1000% noticed. I was like, that's a woman.
Women can do everything now almost,
They
except
can.
get an abortion. Wah, wah.
Still can in California.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Huzzah for
Okay, so
California.
this guy took his canoe out, disappeared. There was a giant search. He secretly
I love that he took
returned.
a canoe, though. It's so funny.
Mm-hmm. He secretly returned to the UK and was in hiding for several years.
Oh, he was British too?
It's the same guy, John Darwin. We're still talking about John Darwin.
Yeah, but we talked about Lord Lunken and Stonehouse. They were both British.
Oh, Stonehouse, we're going to get there next.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
So his wife claimed the insurance money like we called. The couple eventually was caught and both were convicted.
Oh, they were in cahoots together.
Yeah, they were in cahoots. They were cahoots.
So he left the US and went to he didn't.
He's from the UK.
No. So that would be impossible on a canoe.
Well, that's how he died. Trying to get to the US. No.
I was like, come on, stop it.
Stop it. Okay.
So wait, I'm confused. So he left the UK. Did he do like a U-turn and go back?
Yeah, that's essentially what he did. He did a UE. He made a UE, and then his wife was like, he never came back, and then he was in hiding.
Where was he hiding? See, that's like, where would you hide if you're faking your own death?
Where would I hide? I would hide in that closet over there.
No, it's the worst idea.
That's when you get like a cabin out in the middle of woods and you just stay out there for a long time, or like your wife moves to a new town, doesn't know anybody, you move in with her and you just don't tell anybody. Okay, we're going to Wikipedia because I think this is going to be. He was gone for 5.5 years.
Oh, that's
a long time. And they collected £250,000. So that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay. He was presumed dead, and he lived for some time in a bedsit next door to the family house. So I'm assuming, what is a bedsit?
I think that's like an ensuite. Like an in-law suite.
1-room apartment. Yeah. You know.
Look at me. I'm so smart.
You're so British. And then he secretly moved back in with his wife a year after.
Wait, I'm confused. How could he do that secretly when he was literally living on the property?
So he must have then moved back into the main house a year later.
How do you do that secretly? Like in the middle of the night, he just tiptoes like a cat burglar?
Yeah, like a cat dragon vampire. Vampire dragon. And then, okay, someone recognized him at some point and was like, aren't you supposed to be dead? And then he was like, shh, don't tell anybody. Well, he's British, so he's like, don't tell anybody.
Oh, God. We talked last time we hate accents. Oh, you tried to do a British voice last time. I made you do it, and I was disappointed.
I know. I had flashbacks.
To what, last episode?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so in 2004, he decided to move abroad. And
to the UK.
He moved to Cyprus. And he got a fake passport under the name John Jones. Like, bro, that's so obvious. But using his true home address. What a dumb fuck.
Wait, his name, he changed it to John Jones or John?
John Jones.
Okay. I wasn't sure if there was an apostrophe or... Sorry.
No, John.
John.
Why are you taking notes on his name?
I just
You're just over here like, cha-la-la-la-la.
I'm just taking the notes. Are so funny.
Okay.
Sorry that was sick.
At some point he tried to buy a catamaran. And then he also tried to buy property under the name John Williams.
I thought it was John Jones.
This is a third name. Write that down.
John Jingle. And then this is how John Jingleheimer Schmidt got involved.
Oh, and then in 2006, they thought about going to Panama. And so they went to Panama in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometime in 2007 is when the couple, in 2007, the couple purchased a tropical estate in Panama with the intention of building a hotel where canoeing holidays could be run, which is hilarious.
That's hysterical.
Yeah, and that's they had bought that. They were playing on the romanticism of his fake death, and then
wait, when were they caught?
We're getting close.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought we got there.
They went to Panama again.
That was insurance money.
Mm-hmm. And then
they went back to Panama.
They kept going back to Panama.
I thought they wanted to go to Panama. And they didn't go.
They wanted to go to Panama, then they went to Panama, and then they went back again, and they were looking at properties to buy where they could open a hotel, and then they came back. So then at some point, they got an email from Panama that their identities would have to be verified, and they needed to get investor visas instead of regular visas. And that meant that his Jones alias would not pass the level of security. He decided to return to the UK under his real name and fake amnesia.
Wow, this is a double fake.
Yeah. So in December 2007, he walked into the police station in London, claiming to have no memory of the past 5 years. His wife pretended to be surprised and excited.
Why was she excited?
Because he was alive, because she thought he was quote unquote dead.
But I thought they were together this whole time.
Yes, but she's faking being surprised because he's faking amnesia because he faked his death. So now it's a triple fake. Okay.
Oh my God, this story is out of control.
I know, this is great. And then the police had suspected them at this point, and they started to look at like all the stuff that had been going on, and that's when everything started to unravel. And that's when that all came to bed. Wow.
And this was in what year?
That was 2007. So
that was all in 2007?
Yeah, he went missing in early 2002 and then was caught by the end of 2007.
Also, I think his name was just John Jones. I don't think I think you just made up Williams.
Nope. It's literally in there multiple times. His name is John Darwin, and then he pretended to be John Jones. And then that was when he went to Cyprus. And then when he went to Panama, he was trying to be John Williams. Cool. I didn't make it up. He did, Ben.
Cool. Okay.
I would have come up with better names. Okay.
I know. That's
Jones,
terrible.
Williams, even Baker would have been better. Okay.
That's all.
So then we got our boy, another John, something with the Johns. John Stonehouse was also British, politician. And in 1974, he left his clothes on a beach in Miami and vanished. See, this is what I would want to do, right? Leading authorities to think that he had drowned, but just such a mystery, right? Like, those are the best. Like, why all of his clothes, right? And then in reality, he had fled to Australia with his mistress under a new assumed identity and was eventually recognized, arrested, and faced fraud, theft, and conspiracy.
This would be really hard to do nowadays without social media. Like, you'd have to never be on social media ever again.
That's what I'm saying. You couldn't be in New York because there's cameras everywhere. There would be so hard.
Mm-hmm.
So
you'd be
hard.
Like a mole person.
Who doesn't want to be a mole person? Okay, so he went missing on November 20th, 1974. When was he found? Oh, he only made it a month. He went missing on November 20th, 1974, and he was found or arrested on December 24th, 1974. So he made it a month and 4 days. That guy was not even good. Okay.
Good job,
Anne
John.
Darwin makes it on the list of faking her own death, even though she didn't fake her own death. She was just involved with her husband.
Mrs. Darwin?
Mm-hmm. Then we got
and Mrs. Darwin.
Marcus Shrinker.
Lunkin?
SC.
Oh.
Lord, that was Lord Lunkin. No, this is Shrinker. SCHRENKER.
I don't think Lord was his first name.
Well, it probably wasn't, but that's what he's known now. Okay, this was a man from Indiana. Now we're in the U.S. He staged a plane crash in 2009.
Oh my God! See, this is why you don't get in planes with women.
It was a man.
I know. I was referring back to you being
There was no woman involved in this story, and you blame it on a woman.
What I do. It's America. We blame things on other things.
Okay, so he parachuted out of his plane over Alabama, leaving it on
I thought he was in Indiana.
to crash. He was in Indiana finance.
He left it to the co-pilot to crash?
No, on autopilot.
Oh. On autopilot. Oh my God. Oh, I was okay. Yep, autopilot.
Wait, why did he get arrested for attempted murder? Okay, let's look at what this fucker did. Oh, he thinks he's attractive too.
Oh,
I'm gonna send you this guy's picture. Oh, he was only gone for 3 days. That's God. These guys suck.
What a disappointment.
He went to just Alabama and tried to hide out in Alabama. Like, ew.
I didn't get this photo.
Did I text it? Yeah. I totally texted. I texted the script and that picture to Jesse and Alex. So they're just getting
so funny.
They're just getting all this weird stuff and they're so confused right now.
That's so funny.
They also okay.
Oh God. Great. Oh, sorry. Ugh.
That's what I'm saying. You know he thinks he's attractive.
He looks like he's from the Midwest.
What does that even mean?
Like basic.
Okay, that's rough. Look at his wife or girlfriend or whatever.
Are you sure? His wife looks like one of those poster boards, not even a real person.
She doesn't look like a real person.
She also looks like she needs to eat some food.
She does look
hungry. And that everything about this looks fake.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like I think we've grown from faking our own deaths to faking who we are as people. It's really deep thinking.
Wow, Ben, that's the deepest thing I've ever heard you say. Did you copy that from somebody else?
No, I'm not even drunk or stoned or anything.
Oh, that's how.
No, it's usually, I mean, I'm going to have this thought again when I'm drunk or stoned and I'm going to be like, where did I hear that from?
Someone genius.
Someone so smart.
And attractive.
But I mean, you don't hear about it really anymore, but people fake shit all the time now on social media.
Well, I mean, you hear about the people the con artists who fake their entire life instead of their death. I think it's harder to fake your own death catfishing.
Now. Oh yeah, 100%.
Or who was that chick that was it Anna? Anna something. Okay.
Oh, they made a movie about her.
A series, a docu. Yeah.
Oh, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Anna Sorokin.
Yeah. One of the queens on RuPaul's season did her for Snatch Game, and she did a terrible job.
Well, that's upsetting.
It's upsetting. It is.
It's upsetting. Okay, so the next guy, another English guy. This guy's a butcher. He attempted one of the most interesting cases of identity theft. So he claimed to be Roger Thickborn.
His names suck.
A wealthy Englishman who had disappeared at sea. So he pretended to be somebody that disappeared. He didn't fake the death. He faked to be a dead person.
Mm-hmm. So is that person real? Is that Roger Thickborn?
Yes.
A real person?
Yes. And he was a wealthy Englishman who disappeared at sea.
Oh.
And Arthur Orton, despite being very little resemblance, basically tried to pretend to be that guy and convinced the mother of the dead guy that he was her long lost son.
Is that the movie with Angelina Jolie in no, but never mind. I'm thinking of something different.
They eventually said he was an imposter and he was convicted of perjury.
Is that what perjury means?
Lying at court.
Oh, I don't know. I've never been to court.
I went to court a couple weeks ago.
Good for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you want to talk about it?
I mean, I'm trying to become a CASA. Court-appointed supervisory advocate.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
A coronary supervisor advocate.
Court-appointed.
Oh, got it. I don't know what that means.
So it's working with like kids in the juvenile justice system kids in the dependency system, which is what we call foster care system now.
Yes,
and they're not foster parents; they're resource parents.
Interesting.
Learned so much. Mm-hmm.
Love that. We can talk about expert stuff sometime about that.
We should. Okay, so here are some of the famous people who were guessed to have faked their death. Any guesses who might be on this list?
Well, we talked about Elvis.
Yes, Elvis is definitely on here.
Michael Jackson.
Yes, good guess.
Also, there's a trend here that it's all presumably heterosexual men.
Yeah, so far. The gays don't fake it.
No, they don't.
What?
All right. Elvis, MJ, Amelia Earhart.
Yes, that is one. And that is one they just found her plane, they think. So they think that they finally found her. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So she is probably dead. D.B. Cooper. Have you ever heard about D.B. Cooper?
I have not.
He's pretty famous in the true crime space because he hijacked a plane in like the 70s or something. And like he like basically like hijacked a plane, stole a bunch of money, and then like jumped out of the plane, and like people think that he died or like made off with it. So he's one. And then one of the last ones is Jim Morrison, which I didn't know.
Oh.
I never would have guessed that.
Is it James Morrison? Jim Morrison? Is that the singer? It's Jim Morrison.
Mm-hmm. It's Jim Morrison. Mm-hmm.
DBA, Jim Morrison.
Okay, so here's a lesser well-known case. This guy's named Benjamin Kyle. This man was found unconscious behind a Burger King in Georgia in 2004 with no memory of his identity or past. Despite extensive efforts to uncover his true identity, including DNA testing and media coverage, his identity remains unknown. Some theorists speculate that he may have intentionally erased his identity and staged his amnesia to start a new life.
How would one intentionally erase their memory?
I think you fake that, or I don't know, maybe there's like a drug that can do it.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
I don't know if that would be fun. Is there?
Your computer shuts off. Like you're Googling weird things, so we're just gonna.
I definitely Googled more weird things when I was in speech and debate.
Cool.
University of Montreal researchers say that the drug metirapone, I'm saying that so wrong, reduces the brain's ability to re-record negative emotions associated with painful memories. So they're essentially bad memories are blocked. So I guess you can erase some memories, but maybe not all. The forgetting pill erases memories forever. This is on Wired.
Fun. On Wired?
Mm-hmm.
Forgetting pill.
Yeah, they don't have that yet, though. It sounds like it's not real yet.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Scratching that off. Erasing it.
I don't know why you're taking notes on that.
I don't know. I'm just taking so much notes. I'm learning so much about these people.
You're like Marcus Shrinker.
And I'm hypothesizing everything. So
John Wilkes Booth. They thought that maybe he faked his own death.
I thought he was arrested.
So
wasn't he arrested?
While Booth's death is well documented, conspiracy theorists have emerged suggesting that he may have survived, lived under an assumed identity. However, historical evidence overwhelmingly supports the conclusion that Booth died as a result of a confrontation with Union soldiers.
So he was never arrested after Lincoln's death?
So he was cornered and shot by Union soldiers.
Oh. Got it. Huh.
And he was hiding in a barn in Virginia. I think this was right after his. Okay, so what do you think are the most common ways people have faked their own deaths?
Let's see here. I am thinking a bunch of crashes.
Okay.
Do I have to be more
We have
specific?
vehicle accidents, so we'll take that. I'll
Say,
take that as vehicle accidents. I will accept
what
that.
about disappearances?
Gonna need you to be more specific.
Like like wilderness disappearances or
So
lost at
that's
sea?
one. Hiking and outdoor accidents is one.
Lost at sea.
Lost at sea is another. Vehicle accidents as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's two more that you're missing.
Murder.
No, but
Oh.
I think that could be on there. So the opposite, suicide. Yes. I'm not going to laugh about that. What's the last one? And this is one I've actually like heard a couple of stories on, but I can see how it's less common. This is very opportunistic.
Being kidnapped?
No, so natural disasters. So like when Hurricane Katrina happened, a bunch of people faked their deaths because all the records about you are lost. Everything is really lost. And so if you were someone that maybe had 4 felonies, right? Now you can not be that person anymore. You can make up a new person and say everything you had was lost in Katrina. So I have heard of that happening with like other places too.
Okay, that's how I would fake my death.
But then you have to wait till like there's a natural disaster in your area.
That's totally fine with climate change. There's going to bound to be one every other week soon. So
you're like, I'm just going to go live in the woods in like, Tahoe. And I'm guaranteed eventually, right?
Yeah, I'll figure it out. I'm gonna wait until our next forest fires. I'm gonna get a canoe, and I'm gonna canoe to someplace else and start a whole new life.
So you're just gonna do what Darwin did.
I'm gonna do a mix of everyone. I think actually.
Okay. A little remix.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think that sounds best.
Like when they do like a Jay-Z, Rihanna remix, it's going to be the John Darwin, there was another John Stonehouse.
I'm just gonna call it the
Jim Morrison, DB Cooper.
I'm just gonna call it the John Escape.
You're gonna pull a John.
And I'm gonna change my name to John.
And just be like, I invented John John's pizza or subs or whatever those are.
Oh, I forgot about that. All right, I'm gonna change it to John Cat Dragon.
Fuck, dude. Vampire Cat Dragon. You forgot her whole identity, Ben.
That's too long. It's John v. Cat Dragon. How about that?
That's actually like a sweet name. Like if you were a goth dude, like 2005, that would have been like the best name.
Oh my god, Dita would have been so obsessed with me.
She would have been about it. She would have been.
Honestly, I took so many notes here that like.
You should save that one day.
I'm gonna be like, what the hell were we talking about? I mean, this is also a mix of my work notes too. So
I love to do that. I just mix them all together, one little hodgepodge.
I'm going to be in my meeting tomorrow and I'm going to be like, so John Stonehouse. Wait, Suicide. That's not right. Suicide.
They're like, what?
No. He was the one that escaped to Australia to be with his other wife. And he was discovered a month later.
His mistress.
Whatever.
Okay, I think if I was to kill myself, I think I would definitely do the at sea.
No, that's not that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about please do not kill yourself. 311 is the number. If I was to
kill myself, it definitely would not be at sea because I'm terrified of the ocean. So if I was to fake my own death, I would do the sea. If I was to kill myself, I'm a
Why are we talking about that?
It'd probably be like pills or something easy. Well, I'm just going to be honest. And you know what? Suicide awareness is important and we should all care about our mental health. And as somebody who used to struggle with that, seriously, like life gets better. It's not worth it. Honestly, and this is like interesting. There's a lot of studies about how like something like 7 minutes is all it could take for somebody to make that decision and then also
Yeah.
change their mind and regret that decision. So I think that's important stuff. And,
And I thinking
don't fake your
looping
death.
men-
Go ahead.
yes. But looping mental health into it, I mean, if you look at all the examples you gave me, most of these are white men, and money, but it's all, I think, has mental health stuff, and I think men are just trained not to talk about feelings or work through things. So I think it's interesting that we need to talk more about mental health, because we wouldn't have people faking their own deaths that much.
Well, they're running away from it. Like that's what they're doing. Instead of solving their problem, I think that's like the truth of it, right? Like people who are faking their own deaths, there's something that they're running away from, right? Like it's not like somebody who's just like, my life is perfect. I'm up and going, right? Like I think you're totally right. Like I think mental health is probably one of the biggest things that we're facing in this country in particular. Like why are we have so many kids in middle school being suicidal, right? Like that's awful. So yeah, like I agree, but also I think it's a lot about money too, and I think there's that like, and maybe that's another thing on men and mental health in this country, because also men's status and like worth has really been tied to money in this country, and if you can't provide, it like has that question, and that's not fair for anyone. As much as we're going to say like women's value isn't based off their beauty, well, men's value isn't based off of how much they can bring in either.
Right.
So
I agree.
it's opposite, okay? And now men have to be hot toddies, and ladies, we're bringing in the bucks.
Love it.
It's the life. It's the life. I would love to have a house husband.
We'll get you there.
Yeah, I believe in me.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
I
that's
believe in
how
you too.
I almost said that's how I would kill myself. I almost said it again. That's how I would fake my own death. Um, but I think yeah, you're right. Like solve your problems. Like right. Like work on what's in front of you. Don't run away.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do, then do it better than all of these people did.
100%.
I'd like to think actually you're saying that the problem was with the men in this country. I actually think women have done it too. They just didn't get caught.
Oh, I mean, women are generally smarter than men.
I think we are statistically.
I
Men have a
think
higher
women are too.
range. Yeah, men are dumber and smarter. Like their range goes much broader. Like there are more
Mm-hmm.
really smart men than there are really smart women, but
Mm-hmm.
women on average are smarter than men. So I don't know what that says.
I
But
just think women are smarter than men. I just think women are
thank you.
better, to be honest.
Thank you. Join us,
And
Ben.
this
Join
is,
us
all right. I'm fine being a male person.
now. Okay. Any thoughts on this besides, take care of your mental health, don't fake your own death, and
I honestly learned a lot, and I'm just blown away by people doing this. It's just, yeah, I would love to know in recent years who has faked their death and how they did it, because to
like
your
who we
point,
don't know about yet?
yeah, it's like, I think it's interesting that, like, how would you, like, it's more difficult to do it now. So, but I'm sure people have done it or tried, and I'd love to hear their stories. Join us in our next We're Experts Now if you'd like to come on and tell us how you faked your death.
Well, speaking about our next We're Experts Now, how you feeling about taking on your first episode of leading the topic, Ben? Are you excited?
I am so excited. I'm going to
Yeah.
figure out the topic, and I'm going to teach you about it.
I am so excited to learn.
Good.
It's gonna be a Ben centric, Ben centered. No, I'm gonna workshop that a little bit.
Yeah, I think we're expert. I'm going to teach you about me so that you're an expert on me.
I feel
Doesn't that
like
sound interesting?
I'm ready. I am ready.
Okay. I'm not ready to open up, so
I
we'll
know.
find another topic.
We'll do that later, crying into our pillows at night.
Great. Awesome. We've had a
Okay.
lot of mental health talk in this episode.
I know. What is it? I think it's just this week has been killing me. This week it's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
And I am exhausted. So here we are.
Here we are.
But we thank you everyone for joining us for another episode of We're Experts Now. If you
Yes.
haven't already, like, subscribe, follow, share with your friends, share with your mom, share with your cousin, anybody who might like us will like them.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Any
We're
other
awesome.
final thoughts, Ben?
I don't honestly have any final thoughts. I'm just processing
you would.
everything.
I didn't think you would.
I'm just, it's been, like you said, it's Friday.
It's Tuesday.
There we go.
And we're going to go be experts now.
Great.
Thanks for watching another episode of We're Experts Now. We couldn't do this without you.
If you like this episode and want to support the show, like, subscribe, and comment on YouTube or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
And pass along your favorite episodes to your friends, your family, coworkers, random people you meet on the bus, and just about anyone you think might want to be an expert too.
Have ideas for something you want us to investigate? Then send us an email at we'reexpertspod@gmail.com. That's WEREXPERTSPOD @gmail.com.
And don't forget to stay curious.